Thank you for joining me here at Vision Miner. My name's Cole, and the following video is basically going to be tips and tricks that I wish I knew when I started 3D scanning to get good results. This is by no means the end all and be all, but if you're just getting your scanner out of the box, these are the things I wish I knew. With that said, let's jump into things. I don't know what to do with my hands. Global markers files. What are they for? What do they do? Scanning large objects, intricate environments, or even capturing tiny little details can feel like solving a puzzle sometimes. Challenging angles, tiny little misalignments, they all add up. What if there was a way to make all of those challenges disappear? What if you could enhance accuracy, streamline workflow, and save yourself hours or maybe even days? That's what global marker files are. Global markers don't just save time, they save you from yourself, little mistakes that you make. Scanning isn't just about capturing a shape, it's about getting it right. In reverse engineering, quality control, scientific research, the tiniest little misalignment can throw everything off. And markers minimize those errors by reducing misalignments in your scan. Think about it. Without global markers, scanners only rely on features in the environment, edges, patterns, textures. But what happens if the environment's flat, monochromatic, or super reflective, or worst of all, very boring? That's where scanners lose their place. And that's where markers step in. Think of them as tiny little invisible anchors, strategically placed all around the area you're trying to scan so you always have a frame of reference. Imagine trying to map out a huge building or a shiny reflective object that your scanner keeps losing track of. I think we've all been there. Global markers fix that. They tell your scanner, hey, this spot right here, it's home base. Start here, end here. Align everything to this. And here's where things get real. Have you ever tried scanning something too big to finish in one go? Maybe you want to go home at the end of the day, you know? Maybe things like a car. Normally, you'd have to cross your fingers and hope that everything lines up when you come back later that day or maybe even next week. But with global marker files, no problem. Stop, take a break, answer the phone, come back to your scan weeks later. Those markers are going to keep everything perfectly aligned. Even the toughest scenarios, dynamic lighting, repetitive patterns, or shifting environments, having to go outside. Global markers provide a reliable frame of reference every single time. They say, hey scanner, you remember me? And the scanner's like, oh yeah, I do now. Thanks for that global marker file. Resolutions. Just because your scanner can scan at 0.05 millimeter does not mean you should use that all the time. In fact, don't. It's going to be a nightmare. Remember, your accuracy doesn't change. So what is the correct resolution? Have you ever wondered how much is too much detail? When it comes to 3D scanning, the resolution you choose isn't just a setting. It's the difference between a smooth, efficient process and data overloaded disaster. Resolution in 3D scanning is all about a balance, right? Too high and your files are massive and your hardware is gonna struggle and you're swimming in unnecessary detail, right? Too low and you lose critical features that makes the scan useful, and it's the whole point of it. So how do you find that sweet spot? Here's the breakdown. High resolution is perfect for small, super intricate objects, jewelry, so on, where every tiny detail matters. But for big, simple objects like a couch, it's not about detail, it's about time. High resolution means more scanning time, more data to process, and more storage space. Low resolution is faster, lighter, easier to manage, especially when detail isn't a huge priority. Different applications demand different resolution. For precise things, reverse engineering or VFX. High resolution is just going to be non-negotiable. But for rough designs, maybe like virtual reality or a quick prototype, lower resolution keeps things simple and efficient. Don't forget about your hardware. Pushing for ultra high resolution on a scanner or a computer that can't handle it, that's just asking for trouble. So what's the takeaway? The right resolution is about finding balance. Match it to your object, your workflow, your hardware. The goal is efficiency without compromise. Because in the world of 3D scanning, resolution just isn't about detail. It's about making every single scan count. It's super simple if you just remember the 12 S's. Selecting suitable scanning settings simplifies systems, saves storage, and secures superior scan specifics. Anyone can remember that. It's so easy. Cole, I hear you say, I'm new to 3D scanning, and I don't have a lot of space. Well, make some. Now we're talking about prepping. You're about to start a 3D scan, right? Exciting, right? But before you jump in, let's talk about how to set yourself up for success, because the way you start the scan can make or break the whole process. So first, your object, right? Clean it. Make sure it's clean. Make sure it's not going to move around so that it's stable. Is it shiny or transparent? Those surfaces can trick your scanner, so take an extra minute to prep. Either add extra markers for better tracking, or add some scanning spray like ASO, all of which we sell on our site. Next, the environment, right? Lighting is key. Too bright and your scanner might get overwhelmed. Too dim, it's a struggle. Try to think ideally like a soft, cloudy day, right? That's the perfect lighting. And make sure the area is clean. Having little doodads placed around the table is gonna be picking up extra things you don't wanna deal with. Now, the scanner, okay? Resolution and range. Higher resolution, you're gonna have to be a lot closer for the most part. Lower resolution, you can be further away. So what does that mean? That means you need an environment that you have some space. High resolution captures super intricate details, but it's overkill for simple shapes. Adjust your settings for the job and also your scanner's limits. Before you start, calibrate. It can never hurt to calibrate. Always calibrate, right? It's like tuning an instrument before a concert. You don't want to go out there and everyone's going to know it's out of tune. You just put in that little extra work in the beginning and everything will go smoothly. Then you pick a starting point. Find a section with clear, distinct features, something the scanner can latch onto. Also, start with a quick test pass. You can just immediately delete it afterwards, but make sure you know that this is going to pick up everything it needs to the first try. And if you find mistakes, you can take care of it before you're too deep into it. There you have it. I mean, clean, prep, calibrate, test. Starting a 3D scan isn't just about turning on the scanner. It's about setting the stage for accuracy and efficiency, and a scan that you're happy with. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, write them down below. We'll address them. I love doing this. I love helping people and teaching. Let us know what you want to see next. I will actually do it. And thank you for your time. visionminer.com. Send us an email, ask questions. Everything you've seen in this video is available there. Have an awesome day.